Hey, what is going on guys? Ali here, hope you are doing very well. Welcome back to the FM Scout YouTube channel where today we have a Football Manager 2017 experiment. It's a special one to be honest with you. It is the battle of the YouTubers. We'll jump into it in just a second. I do just want to say a massive thank you to Boot FM for helping me kind of put this together. If you haven't already checked out his channel, a link will be in the description. You can go over and do that. And if you are interested in the content that I offer, do upload twice a day, every single day. You're more than welcome to go and check out my channel as well. So effectively we have 20 YouTubers managing within the Premier League. The teams that they are managing, for the majority of them they have some form of relation to, in terms of they either support them or they have managed them on Football Manager already on a YouTube series, or they currently are managing that team. So there's a few in there that are currently managing them, and then ones are from a 2017 save or a 2016 save. So now on your screen you're going to go ahead and meet all of your managers. I'm just quickly going to go ahead and tell you why each manager is managing that particular team. So listen out and look out for your favourite YouTuber while I go ahead and explain why they're managing who. Arsenal has Curty FM. He did an Arsenal Let's Play at the very start of FM17. Rich on Twitch is managing Bournemouth, as he did a Bournemouth save as well. Teach FM is one of the ones that has no relation to Burnley. Dave is managing Chelsea, again no relation as he is a Wolves fan, couldn't get him in there. Crystal Palace has Keepers, he's a Celtic fan, I couldn't really get a relation in there, he hasn't done any other saves either. Everton has Work the Space, he is a Liverpool fan, so he is managing his rivals, which is an interesting one. Hull has Mischievous Rogue, there's no relation on that one. Leicester has Dr. Benji, everyone will know about Dr. Benji's Leicester save that he had earlier on in the year. Liverpool has Loki Doki, as he is a Liverpool fan. Man United has Bood FM, as he is a Manchester United fan. Manchester City has FM Life, he is a United fan, managing his rivals. Middlesbrough has FM Underdog, he previously did a Middlesbrough save. Southampton has Wolfie, he did a Southampton save as well. Stoke has GWFM, no relation on that one. Same for Jen Caldo, managing Sunderland. Lelujo is managing Swansea. The reason for that one is he's known for his non-League to Legend. This was kind of the closest team I could get, as they obviously went from League 2 to the Premier League pretty quick, same as what Lelujo does on his saves. Tottenham has One True Nerd for his current series with Tottenham. Watford has Fox in the Box as a Watford fan. West Ham has Golden FM, as he is a West Ham fan. And then West Brom has myself, which is Ali, as a West Brom fan. So if there's anyone that you missed out for YouTubers wise, I do apologise, but drop them in the comment section below if you want me to do them for that championship save. So for this first episode, we are going to go ahead and simulate up until the 31st of December and see how the managers are getting on later on. But then we are looking at going ahead into the future for this one. So we do have some more ideas. The way we could do it is, for another time round, we could go down to the championship and add another 24 YouTubers in to see how they do, and obviously it broadens out the YouTuber experience for you. We could carry it going on until one of them wins the Champions League, see who is the first YouTuber manager built into the game to see who actually goes ahead and wins that. And then we could also see who is the worst manager out of the ones already in there. So the way I've created the managers within the game is, basically I've been watching some of these guys obviously for quite some time now, so they have all got rough estimates on how they manage on their YouTube series. But however, taking that into account, I did have to make each manager pretty much on a base sort of platform, so they're very similar, because I don't want to say give someone absolute amazing stats and then give someone else, you know, a disadvantaged stats, so it just really wouldn't make it fair. So the majority of people are the same. Well, no, they are all the same roughly, but there are, you know, a couple, maybe 2 or 3, 4 at most stats sort of in it. However, when it comes to their reputation, their ability, all of that sort of stuff, everything is at the same. So their judging ability, judging potential is the same. But then in terms of how much does their club like them, how much does the board like them, all of that is the same as well. There are some rivalries built in there. So you know how when you're playing Football Manager, you might get Arsene Wenger that doesn't like you because, you know, you're managing Chelsea or something like that. That is kind of built into the same as here. I've done that as well. However, it is only 2 to 3 people at most, and it is just built in for the YouTubers that have currently got, and then maybe a couple of idols. But the ones that are built in for the YouTubers, so let's say if the Man City manager doesn't like the Manchester United manager, that is nothing to do with anything in, you know, real life. That is just solely built into the game for rivalry. They all do have a contract up until 2020, and they are paid roughly on how much their club is at, you know, the value there. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the future in just a second. But what I want you to do is let me know down below, do you want me to do a championship version of this? If you do, shout out some YouTubers so I know who I can be looking for. I have already got quite a few in the pipeline for that championship one if we do go ahead and do that. But then also, I was thinking if we kind of do another one, which could be a little bit different, is we could actually make it so all of these managers have the same players at the same team, or that they, so say if you're managing Chelsea, you only have a £10 million transfer budget, but if you're managing Burnley, you have a £60 million transfer budget. There's so many different ways we could do this to see who in the FM community as YouTubers, who is going to go ahead and succeed the most. But other than that, let's go ahead and jump into the future. So then, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're on the 31st of December, coming up to the January transfer window, and straight away on the screen, we can see 2 Premier League managers have been sacked. Now that is Fox in the Box with Watford, and that is Golden FM with his West Ham. So, that's 2 managers already out of the Premier League. It will be interesting. Obviously, if this carries on even more into the future, they may go on to other clubs. You never know. We'll keep an eye on them. But let's go on to the Premier League and see how everyone is doing. So, Arsenal are top, Manchester City second, United third, Tottenham fourth, as you'd imagine. Now, the surprising one is that Southampton, halfway through, are fifth. So, that is Wolfie managing Southampton. He is doing very well with them. Chelsea, which has Dave on, is struggling quite a bit. Obviously not in Europa League or Champions League, anything like that. So to be there is quite disappointing for them. Liverpool not in the top 4 as they'd like to be. Sunderland at 8th. That is ridiculous. Let's go and see. I can't remember who's managing that one. It's Giancaldo. Giancaldo is doing fantastic with Sunderland. He's doing pretty well. As if he's managing to get them up that high. That's good. 19 games in and they've got 1 goal difference. Doing all right. 7 losses. Okay, so Everton are 9th, so work the space trying to do his best that he can with them. I mean, to be fair, it's maybe the same for everyone else, but Everton, on my saves that I have used, Everton usually tend to get relegated, or they get very close to relegation, which is interesting. Swansea, which has Leluja on, is doing pretty well, actually. Swansea usually tend to struggle. Obviously, they're struggling in real life as well, so he's doing well to be up there. Myself on West Brom, doing you know what you'd expect, I imagine. I don't really think there's anything massively surprising there. Really, maybe a little bit closer to the drop, I imagine. Middlesbrough, away from the drop, doing okay. Dr. Benji on Leicester, coming back from their title-winning season. Not going to be up that end, but not doing too great. You probably, as Leicester, you'd want to be up there, but again, not something that's happening. Hull, just about clear of the drop with Mischievous Rogue, doing okay. Stoke with... Okay, it's changed. So that was GWFM. Let's just go and find him. Here he is. So he's been sacked. He is out of a job. History. He was there for 166 days. He played 18 games. He won 5, drew 2, lost 11. And he got the sack from Stoke. 27% win ratio for GWFM. Ooh. Value of players bought, 77k. Not a fat lot. We will take a look at the transfers in just a second. I'm just very much intrigued to see how everyone is doing. Keepers is still at Crystal Palace. Not really doing that great. I think that's quite low, but you never know. Bournemouth with Rich on Twitch. He's doing okay. Let's just take a look. He is on 34% win ratio. Okay. Watford and Burnley are at bottom. Obviously, we know that Watford have lost Fox in the Box and Burnley have Teach FM on. And doing okay. I was going to say doing okay. Not doing okay, actually. 6 points behind. You expect Burnley to be down there. But I think the main one, really, is that, well, Sunderland's up there. And Southampton, those are probably 2 biggest ones. So Giancaldo and Wolfie are doing very well. The top goal scorer at the minute is Sergio Aguero on 13. Let's just take a look and see how Manchester City are doing under FM Life. Let's pop on there and see his one at the minute. He's got a 63% win ratio. He's got 8 losses, actually, which is quite a lot, really. 3 draws, 19 wins. Not doing too bad. Goals for is 35. Club goal difference 25. Okay. Oh, goals for 60. Sorry, goals against 35. I read that wrong. So he's doing okay on there. 22 million brought Nastasic in. I probably said that wrong. I'm not reading it too well. But yeah, I think overall it's... Would you say what you would imagine, I suppose? Like, I think Arsenal top, actually. I haven't really acknowledged this one here. Curti FM doing pretty well with Arsenal. That's a bit of a shocker. Let's just look at how his results have been going. He's been doing pretty well in terms of... there's a few good clean sheets on here and a few good wins. He's doing the cup as well. Lost to Tottenham away. Wouldn't be too good. So one true nerd managing to win that battle. It is looking... I'm just completely... I don't understand how Jen Caldo's doing this one. Really not too bad. Doing better than David Moyes, who actually today has said that he's staying at Sunderland, which is an interesting one. Sporting Alex Moreno, 3.6 mil spent. So nothing too major. But let's go ahead and take a look actually into the transfers. And we'll see how everyone is kind of doing. So, we'll go by fee at the minute. So we know that obviously Manchester City brought him in. Jose Gaya, I don't know how to say that name properly. Apologies if I got that wrong. Has gone over to Liverpool. So Loki Doki's brought him in. Doing alright, I imagine. Let's just take a look at Loki Doki's actual page and see how he's getting on. He's got a 45% win ratio. 9-1. 5 draws, 6 losses. Maybe should be doing better than that. He spent 35 million as well, so yeah, you probably expect him to, but he's not. So Arsenal brought in Luan for 17 million. Is there any kind of like, you didn't really expect that coming? Lee Griffiths to West Brom, 4.7 maybe. Jack Cole back to Watford. I don't really agree with that one, but interesting. Wolfie's brought in Anita from Newcastle. Dimitar Berbatov has gone to Everton. That one's really questionable from Work the Space. He usually likes to go for younger players. And Dimitar Berbatov is certainly not one of them. 35 years of age. Can I see what contract he's on? He's on 25k a week, so I suppose that's not too bad for Everton. But, maybe they are lacking a bit. Obviously, if Lukaku's out or anything like that, they may need it. Oscar's gone over to West Brom. Can't say I know of this player myself. No, never heard of him in my entire life, but other than that, there's not really been too much in the transfer window. Has anyone bought any players in on loan of worth mentioning? I'm just going by the clubs down here to see if they've come into the Premier League. Swansea, which is, I cannot remember, Lujo actually has bought in Cornet from Olympic Lyon, who hasn't really done too much, isn't really playing. Other than that, I think that may be it. Okay, he's brought in another loan. I believe Swansea really don't have much of a transfer budget, so I think that's the reason why Lelujo's gone ahead and done quite a few loan deals. But really, not too much in terms of the transfer window, actually. I was expecting just a little bit more. But manager movements, as we know, are... So, Stoke, GWFM got kicked out first, and he got kicked out for players losing confidence in him. Golden FM got kicked out on the 18th, and Fox in the Box got kicked out on the 17th, and both of them were for the poor league position, as you probably can imagine. I think, if I remember, let's have a look. Do you think the Stoke and the West Ham sackings were, a little bit harsh? Or do you think they're about right? I'm saying for Watford. But then again, I suppose that the December time is always when you start to look at sacking your managers, isn't it? So if you're not in a position that you want to be, the whole reason you get rid of them then is so you've got the January transfer window to kind of move in on. So that'll be it. Now, what we're going to do is I don't really think there's anything else we can kind of go over to, see how everyone's doing. I suppose we could look at tactics, see what they've kind of been playing. So, okay, that one's interesting. Yeah, let's go by the tactics and see what everyone's been, what the big ones are kind of playing. So we just saw Dave's then. 4-2-2-2 for Curti FM, doing alright up there. That one's a interesting formation. Obviously Arsenal usually tend to play the 4-2-3-1. It's 4-2-3-1 for Manchester City for FM Life. Not doing okay. Manchester United, let's see what Bood is playing. He's playing a 4-2-3-1 as well, as you imagine. He's got Ibra up top, probably banging in a few goals, I imagine. Doing okay. Tottenham, let's look at one true nerds. This one's going to be an interesting one. A 4-3-3. Okay. Very, very interesting. I suppose maybe a 4-2-3. A 4-2-3 one's what you're probably most used to at Tottenham, but a 4-3-3 is definitely very interesting actually. It seems to be working okay for them. I mean, they've got a goal difference of 12. They've lost 4 games, which is the same as, you know, some of these up here. Man City have got 13 wins in the league and 6 losses. No draws whatsoever. That one's very interesting. Let's take a look at Wolfie and see how Wolfie's doing what he's doing. Okay, 5-2-3 or 5-2-1-2. And that is literally suiting them like angels at the minute then, isn't it? Absolutely doing them a treat. We've seen Daves with Chelsea, which was an interesting one. Let's have a look at Liverpool and see what Loki's playing. A 4-4-2. Another sort of, maybe a 4-2-3-1 is probably what you expect. I mean, from the more like creative teams, you usually see a 4-2-3-1, I imagine. But 4-4-2 is doing mediocre for Loki, nothing too major. Now, this is one that I want to see. Caldo, a 4-2-3-1, and it's working wonders for him. Absolute wonders. Gooch. But, I mean, you can't moan with that for Sunderland. That is brilliant. Let's have a look at what the space is playing. 4-4-2, straight up. I suppose that could work out because Morales is there to kind of feed in Lukaku. So that's really not too bad. And then we'll do Swansea, and we'll probably leave it at there. 4-3-1-2 with Lelujo. Lelujo actually does usually play that formation, the 4-3-1-2. I tried to give each manager kind of what they play from just my knowledge and experience of watching them, but not everyone has got exactly what they play most times. Me with a 4-2-3-1, yeah, I suppose I'd agree with that. I probably would have played that if I was managing them. But yeah, I think there's most things are kind of what you'd expect, but there are a few surprise things in there, I would say, personally. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. So that is going to be the end of the video then, guys. Let me know down in the comment section below who do you think is going to win the league and what teams you think are going to get relegated, along with are there going to be any more managers moving out of the Premier League. We'll keep a close eye on how everyone is doing. We'll be back for the second part of this series, which will be at the end of the season. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and drop any comments you may have down below. Be sure to check out my channel for the 2 uploads, as I said earlier on, and also Booed for the help on this. And if you do need any sort of skins, guides, anything like that, head on over to FM Scout, as it is the best place for you to go over and get everything that you need for your Football Manager stuff. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.